The Wild West didn't end with duels or gunfire. It ended with cowboys pushing thousands of cattle over wild land. These long drives cut new paths through canyons, deserts, and dusty places, forever changing the frontier. Some towns grew and survived. Others were left to crumble, their stories buried under time and dirt. Today, fragments of that era remain. Phantom Canyon Road winds through the remnants of a 19th century mining route, once critical for transporting ore, now slowly being overtaken by the land. The cowboy, formed not from myth, but from labour, emerged during these drives, shaping a culture defined by endurance and open-range life. And the rodeo, once a measure of real working skill, still reflects the physical demands of a world that disappeared long ago. Stay with me as we uncover the American Wild West's hidden wonders, places far more fascinating than any postcard could capture. Bodie is a well-preserved ghost town that was once a thriving gold mining town during the late 19th century. With a population that peaked at around 10,000 people, it was founded after gold was discovered in the area in 1859 by William S. Bodie, after whom the town is named. At its prime, the town had over 2,000 buildings, mostly infamous for its saloons, gambling halls, and frequent shootouts. Stories of violence and crime were common, with one resident famously writing in a letter that Bodie was a sea of sin, lashed by the tempests of lust and passion. However, as the gold supply dwindled, the population declined, and by the early 20th century, Bodie was largely abandoned. Today, around 100 buildings remain standing in a state of arrested decay, meaning they are preserved but not restored, maintaining their original appearance from the time the town was abandoned. The town of Cody was founded by William F. Buffalo Bill Cody, the famous showman, scout, and entrepreneur. He saw opportunity in the region's open land, access to water, and its position as a gateway to Yellowstone National Park. The town's layout was planned in 1896, and its street names still honour Buffalo Bill's original business partners. Also known as the rodeo capital of the world, the town hosts the only nightly rodeo in the world each summer, along with the Cody Stampede, which draws top cowboys for Independence Day celebrations. The Gold King Mine and Ghost Town is a historical site in Jerome, a former mining town. The site preserves the remnants of a mining operation that was active during the late 19th and early 20th centuries. However, as mining declined in the mid-20th century, the town's population dwindled and it became a ghost town. The mine and surrounding ghost town feature a collection of original and reconstructed buildings, machinery, and equipment from the mining era. Dodge City gained a reputation for its lawless atmosphere, with numerous saloons, gambling halls, and a notorious red light district. Nicknamed Queen of the Cowtowns, it is iconic for its cattle drive and historical lawmen like Wyatt Earp and Bat Masterson. Cowboys were the backbone of Dodge City's cattle boom. Cowboys were skilled horsemen, using lassos, spurs, and branding irons to manage cattle on the open range. They drove herds of longhorns from Texas to Dodge City, braving long journeys, harsh weather, and constant danger from stampedes and outlaws. Cowboys came from many backgrounds, such as Mexican vaqueros, who brought the original cowboy traditions, introducing words like rodeo, lasso, and chaps. Black cowboys made up as much as a quarter of all cowboys, often taking on multiple roles from wrangler to cook, and sometimes facing discrimination despite their skills. Native Americans also worked as cowboys, drawing on their own riding and herding expertise. Virginia City is a historic town that became one of the most famous mining towns in the region following the discovery of the Comstock Lode, a massive deposit of silver and gold. The Comstock Lode was one of the richest silver strikes in history, producing millions of dollars worth of ore. The wealth generated from the mines funded the development of nearby cities and contributed to the growth of the region. Today, Virginia City is a popular tourist destination, with its main street lined with historic buildings that are reminiscent of the Wild West. Rhyolite is a ghost town located near Death Valley that was once famously involved in the gold rush. The town's name comes from the rhyolite rock found in the area, which contains gold deposits. Today, the town's well-preserved ruins include the remains of the Cook Bank building and the infamous bottle house, which was constructed from over 50,000 beer and liquor bottles. The Goldwell Open Air Museum, located near the town, features outdoor sculptures and art installations that add a modern twist to the historic site. The remote silver mining town of Silverton takes its name from the silver deposits that drew fortune seekers to its rugged mountain valley. Founded during a silver rush, the town quickly became a centre for mining, attracting miners, prospectors, lawmen and outlaws who braved the dangers of the high-altitude wilderness. The area was so remote that supplies had to be brought in by mule train, or later, by the narrow-gauge railroad, especially during harsh winters when avalanches blocked roads. Notably, the notorious Blair Street was home to gambling halls and brothels, and was considered one of the wildest streets in the region. The town's main street is still lined with original Victorian-era buildings, saloons and hotels. Garnet began as a mining camp during the Gold Rush era. The town was named after the garnet gemstones found in the area, and later gold discoveries sparked its rapid growth. It is recognised as one of the best preserved mining ghost towns. At its peak, it had over 1,000 residents, with saloons, hotels, stores, and a schoolhouse. Abilene began as a small settlement called Mud Creek, established by Timothy Hersey and his family. The town's growth was slow until the arrival of the Kansas Pacific Railroad, which transformed it into a major shipping point. It eventually became the first major cow town at the end of the Chisholm Trail. Cattle were driven from Texas, loaded onto trains, and shipped to markets in the east. Interestingly, it is the childhood home of Dwight D. Eisenhower, the 34th President and 5-star General, and his boyhood home, library and museum are major attractions. Bannack State Park is known for its well-preserved ghost town, once a booming gold mining settlement, and Montana's first territorial capital, and its gold rush history. Its sheriff, Henry Plummer, was later revealed to lead a gang responsible for stagecoach robberies and murders. Vigilantes formed in response, hanging suspected criminals without trial, with court transcripts and personal diaries detailing the chaos, with some accounts suggesting innocent people were executed. Located in a high plains region, Cheyenne is the capital of its state and serves as a centre for government, commerce, and culture. The city has a population of around 65,000 people and is a hub for transportation, with major rail and highway connections. It is best known for its annual Cheyenne Frontier Days, one of the largest outdoor rodeos in the world. This event, held every July, features rodeo competitions, parades, concerts, and carnival attractions. It draws visitors from across the globe and has been a tradition since 1897. An outdoor rodeo and Western celebration, the Cheyenne Frontier Days Rodeo is the centrepiece of the city's cultural identity. It was at first simply a modest one-day affair that was used as a way to celebrate and preserve the traditions of the American West. At the time, Cheyenne was a growing railroad town, and its residents sought to create an event that would honour the region's cowboy culture and attract visitors. Held at the Cheyenne Frontier Days Arena, the event spans 10 days and includes bull riding, barrel racing, steer wrestling, and other rodeo events. The arena itself has a seating capacity of over 19,000, making it one of the largest outdoor rodeo venues in the world. In addition to the rodeo, the event features a carnival, air shows, and nightly concerts by well-known artists. Phantom Canyon Road is a historic and scenic route that traces the path of the former Florence and Cripple Creek Railroad, which once connected the booming mining districts of Cripple Creek, Victor, Canyon City, and Florence. The road is known for its green-spotted canyon walls, sharp turns, and dramatic elevation changes as it climbs from the plains into the high country. Its name is tied to a ghost story from the 1890s where passengers on a train reported seeing a man in a prison uniform walking along the tracks. The man was said to match the description of someone recently executed at the Colorado State Penitentiary. Floods and washouts also frequently damaged the tracks, and a major flood in 1912 destroyed much of the line, leading to its closure, but it was eventually converted to a public road a few years later. Bisbee began as a prospectors' camp after copper was discovered in the Mule Mountains. It became a major copper producer, with the Copper Queen mine at its centre, as its high-grade ore made it one of the most productive copper mines in the area. The town's boom years brought dozens of saloons, gambling halls, and a notorious red light district that operated openly for decades. The red light district was home to over 20 houses and about 100 workers at its peak, only closing when federal regulations during World War I forced its shutdown. Bandera is famously known as the Cowboy capital of the world, a title earned from its role as a staging area for cattle drives along the Great Western Trail during the late 19th century. The town celebrates its cowboy culture through rodeos, dude ranches, and historical reenactments, making it a hub for those seeking to experience the Old West. Due to its cowboy culture, it has a reputation for producing some of the best rodeo athletes and ranch hands in the country. Many of these cowboys and cowgirls, often raised in the town, go on to compete in national rodeo events, continuing the legacy of Western skills that have defined the area. Today, it hosts an annual 3-day Cowboy Mardi Gras event, featuring parades, live music, and Western-themed festivities that attract thousands of visitors. Denver is the capital city of Colorado, with a considerable background in mining and Native American history. Referred to as the Mile High City, it was founded in 1858 during the Pikes Peak Gold Rush, initially as a small mining settlement along the South Platte River. In fact, it serves significantly as a supply point for miners heading into the mountains. It is home to reputable landmarks such as the Colorado State Capitol building and Sloan Lake. Known as the town too tough to die, Tombstone was founded by Ed Schieffelin, after he discovered silver in the hills of southeastern Arizona. It is best known as the site of the legendary 1881 gunfight between the Earp brothers, Wyatt, Virgil, and Morgan, Doc Holliday, and the Clanton-McClory gang. The shootout lasted about 30 seconds and left 3 cowboys dead, cementing Tombstone's place in Wild West history. Once a thriving Nevada mining town, Goldfield transformed from a thriving city to a ghost town almost overnight when the gold deposits were depleted, causing businesses to close and people to leave. The town was a centre for innovation, including the use of cyanide processing to extract gold from low-grade ore, which increased yields and profits. Wyatt Earp also spent time in Goldfield during its boom, working as a deputy sheriff and running a saloon. The town of Calico sprang to life after silver was discovered in the colourful hills of the Mojave Desert. Like many other ghost towns, it was soon abandoned after mining resources were depleted and its stores shut down. Years later, Calico was restored by Walter Knott, founder of Knott's Berry Farm. Many of the original buildings were rebuilt or preserved, transforming Calico into a living ghost town and tourist attraction. Jackson is a town located in a valley surrounded by mountain ranges, defined by its western character, outdoor recreation, and proximity to national parks and forests. Historically, Jackson was established as a hub for fur trappers, ranchers, and settlers. The town grew as a centre for agriculture and tourism, particularly after the creation of nearby protected areas. Jackson Hole, the valley where Jackson is located, is home to numerous horse ranches that offer a look into the region's ranching traditions. Horses have played a significant role in the area's history, from early exploration and settlement to modern-day recreation. Cody, located about 90 miles east of Jackson, is another town with deep ties to horse ranching. Named after William Buffalo Bill Cody, the town is known for its rodeos and Western culture. Terlingua is best known as a ghost town that once thrived as a mining hub, and its association with mercury extraction. Established during a mining boom, operations ceased after resource depletion, leaving behind empty processing facilities and worker housing. Decades after abandonment, a small population returned, repurposing old buildings into residences and businesses. An annual chili competition began here, drawing participants despite the remote location. Ogallala Old Town is known for its origins as a wild cow town at the end of the Texas Trail, where cattle from the south were driven north to meet the Union Pacific Railroad. Its name comes from the Ogallala Sioux, with the word meaning to scatter one's own. The area was first a simple siding and water stop for trains, but it quickly became a major centre for cattle drives and commerce. It became known as Queen of the Cowtowns and was famous for its rowdy streets, saloons and gambling halls. The historic town of Deadwood was established in 1876 during the Black Hills Gold Rush, which began after gold was discovered in the area. The town is known for its association with famous figures from the Old West, including Wild Bill Hickok and Calamity Jane. Wild Bill Hickok was a legendary gunslinger and lawman who was killed in Deadwood in 1876 while playing poker. Calamity Jane, a frontierswoman and scout, is buried next to him in Mount Moriah Cemetery, which overlooks the town. St. Elmo is another well-maintained ghost town from the silver mining era. Dozens of original wooden buildings remain, including the general store, town hall, and private homes. The name St. Elmo was chosen by one of the town's founders, Anton Stark, who reportedly picked it after reading a popular novel of the same name. Founded in 1610, Santa Fe is the capital of New Mexico and one of the oldest cities in the United States. It is known for its long history, unique architecture, and strong cultural traditions. In fact, the area has been home to indigenous communities for thousands of years, and their influence is still visible in the art, food, and traditions found there today. The city played a key role in trade during the 19th century, serving as the endpoint of a major trail that connected the region to other territories. The historic town of Prescott was founded in 1864 and served as the capital of Arizona Territory before the capital was relocated. The town developed as a mining and ranching centre, attracting prospectors searching for gold and silver in the surrounding hills. Downtown Prescott contains 19th century buildings, historic saloons, and preserved Victorian-era homes, reflecting its role as a frontier town. There is also the Yavapai County Courthouse, which sits centred in Prescott since its completion in 1916. It stands in Courthouse Plaza, an area that has served as the heart of the town since the mid-1800s. Elkhorn was one of the few mining towns where many families settled, not just single miners, which gave the community a more stable, family-oriented atmosphere. Unfortunately, its first sign of misfortune was when the town suffered a devastating diphtheria epidemic that claimed the lives of many children and led to a sharp population decline. However, unlike many ghost towns, Elkhorn still has a few private homes, and its most iconic buildings have been preserved as a state park. The town's name comes from the large elk antlers found near the original mine site, which miners used as a landmark. Once the wool capital of the world, Shaniko began as a stagecoach stop and trading post, serving travellers and ranchers in a remote, dry region. Its fortunes changed dramatically with the arrival of the Columbia Southern Railroad, which made it a hub for shipping wool, wheat, and livestock. At its peak, millions of pounds of wool passed through the town's warehouses, bound for markets far away. The city of Carson is the capital of its state, with a population of around 58,000 people. With a long history tied to mining and transportation, it is home to a multitude of historic sites and museums reflecting on its past. Named after the explorer Kit Carson, it was first established in 1858 and then became the state capital in 1864, shortly after the state was admitted to the Union. Serving as Montana's capital city is Helena, well known for its gold rush origins and historic buildings. Its name evolved from Last Chance Gulch, a gold camp moniker reflecting miners' desperation. Prospectors struck gold here in the 1860s, triggering rapid settlement and eventual selection as the capital due to its mineral wealth. Leadville sits at the base of Copper Mountain and is known as one of the highest cities in the region, often called the 2-Mile High City. Its population exploded from a few hundred to tens of thousands in just a couple of years during the silver boom, making it the second largest city in the state at its peak. Although it also suffered from the decline in silver prices, the town survived by turning to other minerals like gold, copper, and zinc. Today, it is a hub for outdoor recreation, offering hiking, biking, skiing, fishing, and scenic train rides, surrounded by some of the region's tallest peaks. Importantly, Native Americans such as the Comanche, Apache, Lakota, and Navajo played central roles in the story of the Wild West. They all fought to protect their lands, though each group had distinct cultures, histories, and strategies for survival as waves of settlers, soldiers, and prospectors moved in. For example, the Comanche were known as the Lords of the Plains, as they dominated the southern Great Plains through expert horsemanship, raiding, and trading. Meanwhile, the Apache were skilled warriors and raiders, known for their mobility and ability to survive in harsh desert and mountain environments. The Lakota, part of the Great Sioux Nation, lived on the northern plains and were known for their resistance to encroachment, their horse culture, and their participation in major conflicts such as the Battle of the Little Bighorn and the tragic massacre at Wounded Knee. The Navajo, or Diné, lived in the southwest and became renowned as skilled herders, weavers, and traders as they endured forced relocation during the Long Walk, but later rebuilt their communities and maintained their language and traditions. This is the Wild West, a land of hidden wonders and remarkable architectural marvels. Now, if you don't want to miss the most unreal wonders of West Virginia, check out this video.